Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be showing you 3 of my favourite dump and go slow cooker meals you can make in the warmer months using fresh seasonal ingredients. These are some of my favourite recipes ever, and yeah, I wanted to share them with you guys, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the first recipe I wanted to show you is my late summer slow cooker sausage casserole. The reason it's a late summer is because I tend to use lots of harvested tomatoes with this. I like to use lots of white cabbage, and it's a little bit fresher than a classic autumnal sausage casserole. So first thing you're going to do is slice up your onions. I personally put 2 large white onions into my casserole. I'm an onion gal, I like onions. I slice up my white onions and my celery, and these are actually going to be fried first. Now this is a very much dump and go recipe if you want. However, I've got a very fussy husband who likes sausages that are a bit more browned. I'm personally fine with putting the sausages straight in the slow cooker. I like the texture of sausage casserole and the sausages being a little bit softer. But for him, I'm going to brown them a little bit, and so I might as well throw in my veggies as well while browning, just for flavour. Onion, celery and sausages just browning, just for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to dump all of this into my slow cooker. I usually cook with my slow cooker on the low setting because I like to prepare dinners in the morning and then come back to them at night. So it's up to you. If you've got 5 or 6 hours at least, then yeah, pop this on the slow setting or low setting, just because low and slow is definitely a way to unleash all the flavours. However, I find even on the high setting, a slow cooker it brings out the flavours so much more in your recipes. But I've got it on low and slow, and it's going to be cooking for around 6 hours. So whilst that's browning, I'm going to chuck in the garlic just before I take it off the heat. Garlic does burn very quickly, so you never want to fry garlic for too long. Put that on just before I take it off the heat. The vegetables are a bit softer now and the sausages have browned, and I'm going to put it into my slow cooker. So this is where you can essentially add all of your other ingredients. So I'm going in with my smoked paprika. I think the smoked paprika makes it taste just a little bit more Mediterranean, a bit more summery, which makes it a nice summer dish. I'm using some cannellini beans. I probably said that wrong. Red wine vinegar. The red wine vinegar really ups the flavour of this. You can actually also add some leftover white wine if you have any in the house. It works really, really well with this dish. Gives it a really nice fresh taste. I'm also adding some chicken stock. I normally use a cup. I'm not going to lie, to measure out my stock from the cupboard. But if you wanted to properly measure out, I would say about 150 mils is fine. Maybe some more, just check on it. I add my fresh tomatoes into the dish as well. These are harvested from our garden. I just throw some tomatoes in. That's what's so nice about this time of year, because you really can you can go foraging for some of your ingredients. It's definitely becoming the more harvest season, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to leave that all in the slow cooker now, and we're going to let that do its thing for the day. Later on in the day, about 15 minutes before serving, I can come home, I can get my white cabbage ready. I think white cabbage goes absolutely perfectly with this dish. Frying it slowly with butter is just perfect. I'm also serving it with a stunning sourdough loaf. You can serve this with just the vegetables, but there is something about soaking up the sauces from this casserole with some buttered sourdough bread, which is just divine. So I'm chopping up my cabbage and I'm frying that in butter until it's really nice and soft, and then I'm going to add a healthy dose of pepper. This is my sausage casserole now. As you can see, it's really well cooked. It's so delicious. The flavour in that tomato sauce is stunning. And yeah, it's just one of those meals that I just love to have at this time of year. It's a really good what can I use up in the fridge type meal. And the cupboards, most type of beans will work with this casserole. So have a look in your cupboard, see what beans you've got lying around, and enjoy, and especially enjoy that sauce with the bread. Oh, stunning. It's actually making me hungry just editing this. Okay, next up we have a slow cooker roast chicken with a side salad. Now, roast dinners are some of my favourite dinners in the world, but during summer, cooking a roast dinner can be quite the stressful scenario because it is very hard to spend a long time in a very hot kitchen during the summer. So this is a really great alternative to slow cook your roast chicken with all the same flavours. It becomes melted soft chicken. It's unbelievable, and it's perfect served with some breads and some salads. Yeah, it's lovely. So the first thing you're going to do is prep your veggies. Now the veggies are going to line the bottom of your slow cooker so as not to let your chicken get burnt or stuck to the slow cooker. So I'm using celery, onions and carrots. That's going to line the bottom of the slow cooker. I'm also going to put in a bit of olive oil, salt and pepper on the veggies. I'm then going to put my whole chicken on top of the vegetables, and I'm going to there base it with some butter and herbs. This really is a dump and go. Everything just goes straight into the slow cooker, which is my favourite type of recipe. I'm also going to squeeze some lemon juice into the pot, and then I'm going to put the lemons into the cavity of the chicken. And there we have it. You just pop the garlic, butter and mixed herbs on the top, lemons in the cavity, and you can pop your lid on and leave that. Now this does take a long time of slow cooking. I cooked it for about 6 hours on low and then turned it up on high just for the last hour. I basted it once during the cooking process, but you don't really need to baste it just because it really locks in all the moisture. By the way, this is meant to be a summer recipe, and this day was very grey outside, hence the very yellow coloured screen right now. But I found this sourdough garlic bread in M&S, and let me tell you, it's a 12 out of 10 kind of bread. It was stunning. I would usually serve this chicken with olive bread and a side salad, which is also just as good, but I couldn't resist the garlic bread this day. So after quite a few hours, your chicken will be so unbelievably soft, moist and full to the brim of flavour. It hasn't got that crispy outer skin that you would get if you had roasted it in the oven, but I don't know, it's personal preference. I think really lovely, moist, soft chicken with a side salad is delicious. There we go. So the chicken falls apart. I essentially just pulled it out and the crown came away, and then I pulled the legs out separately. It falls apart. It really is the softest, most moist chicken from a slow cooker. Now I have a look inside the slow cooker. I can see lots of chicken left over. I pull some bits out, but to be honest, right here you have the most incredible homemade chicken stock. So what I would suggest you do is leave that to cool down completely. Then you want to remove the large pieces and strain the liquid into some ice cube trays. And there you have some stock cubes ready and waiting to go for your future gravies. It's so delicious. So here we are. I'm serving it with warm baked garlic sourdough bread from M&S with a side salad of rocket and tomatoes. And this is how we sort of eat the dinner. Obviously I would be at the table, but we eat the dinner by pulling the chicken off and eating it with some bread and salad. It's just an open sandwich of sorts, but I don't know, it's just one of those dinners that I love. I have every summer. I have done for years and years. So many good flavours and just so easy. We have my summer tikka masala chicken. curry. This is one of my favorite recipes ever. At this time of year, I love to serve it with a gorgeous mint yogurt with lots of fresh mint that I've got from the garden. And again, using the slow cooker is such a nice way to make a curry because you can really have the most tender, moist, flavoursome curry without too much work in a hot kitchen in the evening. So again, I've turned my slow cooker on slow. I'm going to dump all of the ingredients straight into the slow cooker first thing in the morning and leave it on throughout the day. So I put quite a bit of onion in and garlic. I put lots and lots of garlic in just because, can you really have too much garlic? I don't think you can. So I crush my garlic in with the chicken and the onions, and then I add my spices. So the spices I just buy pre-made. I just think it's easier sometimes for these situations. I usually get it from Aldi, and Aldi's mild curry powder is actually my favourite pre-made curry powder. But I do have this tikka one that I'm using. I'm also going to grate a lot of ginger in here. Also, ginger is kept in the freezer in this house and it lasts for so long, and it grates straight from the freezer and you can pop it back. Fresh ginger, in my opinion, outweighs anything dried. So if you can get your hands on some fresh ginger, I really recommend it. Put in my chicken stock into the slow cooker, my tinned tomatoes, and then I'm just going to leave that do its thing for the rest of the day. So about 20 minutes before serving, I can start to get my rice ready. So I have shown how to cook rice, or how I cook rice, a million times on the channel, but I always get questions on it, so I'm going to show you again. So with rice, it's 1 cup rice to 2 cups water. Essentially double the water content of the rice that you're using. I'm then going to put that into a jug. Make sure you've rinsed your rice first. Put that into a jug, and I'm going to microwave that for 20 minutes exactly. If you get to the end of your cooking time with your rice and your rice feels hard or it feels very stuck together, just add a little bit extra water and pop it back in the microwave, because it means you've got a very powerful microwave that's probably evaporated all the water before you were ready. Anyway, that's doing its thing in the microwave. I'm getting my fresh mint here, and then I'm going to chop it and add it into some yogurt. It makes an absolutely stunning dressing on the side. If you're into sort of adding like mango chutneys and other bits into your curry on the side, I would definitely give this a try. It's so fresh, it works so well with the curry. It's really contrasting but works really well. And here we have the curry. As you can see, the chicken just falls apart. It's really, really tender. It's really, really flavoursome at this point. I personally do add double cream into the curry just to make it a bit more of a creamy texture. I think tikka masala is by nature more of a creamy curry anyway, so you can add yogurt, plain yogurt, into your dish if you like. I use double cream. There we go. It's now a very creamy, delicious curry, and it should be ready to go. To be honest, you don't really need to add anything other than your sides. So with my rice, I do add a knob of butter into rice. I always do. I'm someone who's not shy of adding whole fats into my foods. We eat a high fibre, high whole fat, varied diet, and it works for us. So butter in the rice makes it taste delicious, and then we can serve up our delicious creamy tikka masala with our mint yogurt on the side. I do always have to have a curry with this naan bread. You can find this in Aldi. It is a 10 out of 10 kind of naan bread. No other naan bread comes close to it in my opinion. So have a look in Aldi for this one. You can find it in the bread aisle. Pop it in the grill just for a little bit and put, again, a little bit of butter on it, and it's delicious. Serve it with your gorgeous mint yogurt, your naan bread, and yeah, you're really going to enjoy this one. So let me know what recipes you do make. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again for my next one. Bye!